Okay, another late night update, but I've been working on the module. It's been slow today. I did get this track put in on the one bridge, and then I went through and got what are going to be my kind of abutments put in. Yeah, they're not 100% great. Looking at them, they kind of are different levels and stuff, but for the most part, it's going to be hidden by the actual bridge, and it's just a kind of a filler to see that something is there. I'll also be putting sculpt mold down below to bring it up to, track height and be level. The other thing that I'm looking at doing, let's get this underneath it, is putting some pieces underneath that are like cliffy, so that kind of gives that illusion of having a solid base as well to be put on. So that's that side, and then this is this side of it. And unfortunately, that's really all I got done tonight. And that's just due to that I was trying to find this brick sheet that I had. I kept looking and looking, and it was in a completely different room than where I was looking. So that's all that got done tonight. And then even like here, I'll be filling that in with sculpt mold. So let me go to the other side of the module, because you can kind of see some stuff over there too. Okay, the other thing that I got done over here is got all of the sculpt mold in, and some of the rock molds, you can kind of see them here and there, to fill in this back wall. It is taking its sweet time drying, and that's partly because there's so much on there and it's just got to work its way out, but that's okay. If it gets done, it gets done. If I have to wait to paint it, then I'll wait to paint it. But it's in. It looks good. I do want to take some of this extra that was on from the molds, or the castings, I guess. And I saw on a few different places that just breaking it up makes some good kind of rock fall. So I'm going to try that out, see if I like it. There's a few spots that I can put some of that in. So that's where we're at, and we'll be back with more updates. Okay, I've got some more work done on the module, and I didn't realize that the painted area I hadn't done an update on, so we'll just wrap it all up. I've got this side here put in with the sculpt mold, just barely. It's still a little wet. And also did this side as well. Put in some rock castings here and there with that. I also got this area, if it'll focus up, carved out a little bit so that the bridge would fit in there nicely. And I do need to go back in and paint those areas, but it works. So then here is the side over here that I got the rocks in and done up. And then we'll spend some time up here explaining a little bit. Originally, I wasn't too sold on using gray and having some gray rocks, but after a few tests, I do like the way this looks. I just thought that the gray color that I'd done would look the best, at least for something different than what I normally do. And to do that, I just used this cheap pewter gray and started with that. It was a little heavier than a wash, enough for, that being the base coat on it. And then I went through and did a true wash with some desert sand. And that's why you can see some yellow or brown, whatever you want to call it, in there. And then lastly, I just went over with some whites and dry brushed it on there to give this, effect of kind of weathered stone. And so that's all I did up here, or for the rocks. And then the ground color, I just used the water that I'd been using. I just put this, in this cup. And so it had some of that gray with it. But then I used that desert sand and some trail tan for it. And that's all that is. And it blended well, I feel, with the gray in that. And, kind of showing some rock that's been buried but is coming out. And then that's how this side looks. Sorry for the shadows. Lighting isn't that great, but it works. And then I got, along this backside, and, same thing for the colors. I know there's some white that's still here in with the sculpt mold. I do plan to go over it one more time, at least what I've painted, when I'm painting the rest of it. So that's where we're at and how things look for now, or right now. The plan is to let what I just put on there dry. I'm going to get a fan going on it. Oh, I need to fix right over there when I'm done with this. But then I'll take some foam to put on an angle here to kind of curve this a little bit more. And I know that it probably would have looked better having this curved a tad bit more, but I was limited with that piece of wood that I had on there. So I just did what I could with that. And then same with this. I probably could have come out a little bit more with the sculpt mold here, but I had just ended up using the last of the batch that I had for, here. So that is where we're at, and I'm going to just let that dry and get it painted. That way I can get this backside done and go from there. So we'll be back with a further update when I'm a little further along.